Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. Back with his good friend Dion, and this is an important topic, especially today. How you doing, buddy?
Howdy, I'm doing great. I like topics where my first piece of advice is going to be something people don't want to hear.
I like it. So here's the topic, so we can both hear what's on Dion's mind, and that is how to make 2023 your best year yet. Dion, what do you got?
Buy properties before 2023. Like
Before
2015,
2023.
2020,
Oh.
2021. See, people aren't going to want to hear that. You've been saying now for years, and I've been saying for almost 2 years, buy properties today. There's never going to be a time where it feels like the right time to buy. There's always going to be a reason to wait. But having real estate and owning rentals for the last few years, especially, like it was nice between 2015 and 2020. Things were going up. I could see the growth. But from 2020 to 2022, after the income snowball, the exponential growth, the rents going up in my market about 40% in 2 years, owning those properties doesn't suck.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, the first kind of bit of advice I want to tell people and why I think it's important today is we're basically in November. We've got 2 months left. We have holidays. The last 2 months are going to go by so fast. And then we'll be in the new year, New Year's resolution, all of that. We'll likely be in a recession, either a Q4 or Q1. It is where we are, right? Recessions aren't good or bad. They're just part of the business cycle. We've tried to pretend like they don't exist, and now we got to pay up. But I want people to realize you, the individual, you need to protect your mindset. In the world of social media, it is very obvious to me that fear and negativity sells, clicks. More and more of you, frankly, need to block channels. There are channels that are printing money, scaring the bejesus out of you. You own that. You need to block that. That's not helpful. If you have a channel like mine who occasionally says that 2023 is going to be the worst economic year of his adult life, that's a fact. It's an opinion of what I think is coming. But my next statement is do the work. Find your thing. Get focused. Daily discipline. Buy great deals. Buy stuff on sale. People make true wealth in recessions. I'm not going to be here and say fear and this, that, the other thing, and just sit on the couch and do nothing. Make 2023 a great year by doing the work today. If you are interested in real estate today, it will take you no less than 60 days to learn your buy box. Get off your ass and learn your buy box. Go find great deals, then invest in getting better. Learn seller financing, learn all these amazing things. Otherwise, get left behind. It's really that simple in my world.
If you want to make 2023 the best year you can, so maybe not the best year of your life, but the best year you can, you should be hunting for that deal now. Exactly. All but one of my properties were purchased between November and February, because even in a time when we don't have the pendulum swinging from sellers to buyers market like we do now, buyers go away in the winter. Our biggest competition is home buyers. And if they're not buying, that means less buyers. You might not be able to negotiate price unless it's been sitting on the market, more than normal for your area, but you can negotiate terms. Have them buy down your rate, pay closing costs, different things that you can negotiate, seller concessions. If you buy now, then 2023 is the year where you're stabilizing a rental, you're using the binder strategy, you're starting to increase your cash flow. This channel is one rental at a time, and I think that's what you should be doing. If you're watching fear videos and they're saying wait until 2024, wait until XYZ happens, this is the buyer's market. Buyers are disappearing. They're being priced out. They're being yielded out for investors. There's all of this uncertainty. People say there might be a Fed pivot. People say rates might come down. What's the Fed saying? We're going to raise rates.
And we're going to stay there longer than you expect.
Right. I'm not saying they always do what they say, but we don't invest like we know it's going to be a certain way in 6 months. We invest on what we know today, and we make a plan for what could happen in 6 months. Prices or rates could go up or down in 6 months. Have a plan for that when it's happening. Like you did, Zuber, where you bought all the way down. The housing crash in 2008 started happening. You bought as prices went down. And then as they went back up.
I did. Yeah. I bought every great deal I could. And the one wrinkle of this, if you're lucky enough to be in a position to do 2 deals, I hope you hear this. First off, I hope you have the guts to do the daily discipline, do the work, find your first great deal. But let's be clear, just like in my example from video number 2, I bought the whole way down. My only rule was every deal I do had to be better than the one before. I didn't know where it was. It was the first time real estate had crashed like that since the Great Depression on a national scale. So I didn't know where it was going. And yeah, I mean, did I feel like a fool buying my first at what 157 or whatever it was when I was buying stuff sub 40? Not at all. The 151 made sense at cash flow, fixed rate debt. It was awesome. Yeah. So again, you just make sure every deal is better than the last one. And then never stop. Right. The other thing I see people do wrong is they buy a deal and they stop doing the work. You don't have permission to do that. You just never know. I remember one time I found a great deal I had to do, and I actually took my wife and I's cars to get I don't know, a loan on it, whatever it's called, car loans, because they were free and clear. They weren't great, but they were 10 or 12 grand in value there. So we got loans, and we bought another property. So you just never know where great deals come. Again, invest in yourself. 2023, some people are going to do the work. Most won't. Most of you won't. My hope is if you watch my channel, you like to do the work. It's addictive. It's fun. It's exciting. Work is a 4-letter word, and most people would want luck. I don't, I'll take luck, but I'd much rather work for stuff. And recessions are amazing for that. It's the time to buy stuff on sale.
I like work, but I do have ergophobia,
I have no idea what that is.
the fear of having a job.
I didn't. I like that.
So there are some people who are saying, because I started this video with, if you want 2023 to be the best year ever, buy a property in 2020.
Yeah.
So sometimes somebody watching the videos will say, well, you guys are just lucky you started investing before the housing crash, after the housing crash, in the last whatever. Here's a little bit of statistics for you. Half of my portfolio, 3 out of 7, so it's close to half. 3 out of 7 properties were purchased after 2020, during the pandemic, when everybody said, in early 2020, don't buy, interest rates are coming down because prices are going up. You're going to want to wait for prices to come down. I'd still be waiting.
Yeah.
So basically half, and it is more than half because it was a 4-plex, a duplex, and a triplex. And before that, all I had was duplexes. So unit wise, it was more than 50% of my properties, my rentals, came in the last 2 years. It's not like you have to be doing this forever. Every year it's going to get better. We're buy and hold investors. The longer you hold it, the better the deal is. Especially if you're looking at rents. So you've been investing 20 years. You've seen rents flatline. Have you ever listed a property? Have you ever renewed a property, a lease, at a lower amount?
Not in 21 years. Nope.
So
Flat,
I did
but not
flat. Yep. I did a video with Dana from Hemlane the other day on rents coming down. So 3,000 people use her platform, her system, her property management system, and 18,500 rental units listed there. So this is how many leases were renewed at a lower amount in the last year. 0.
Wow.
When people talk about rents going down, here's some statistics. I just saw this the other day, and I don't have it memorized, or I would just spout it off if I could. The rents went up in Lubbock, Texas, Jersey City, and Miami, an average of 29%.
Oh, wow.
So 31% for Texas, 27% for Miami. So there was a little bit of fluctuation there. Average 29. Rents went down. So you're going to hear some things about rents going down. Spokane, Washington, because that's like Siberia, half the year. I can understand that. Reno, Nevada, and St. Paul, Minnesota. No, yeah, and Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis,
Minnesota. And average, they went down an average 3%. So you're going to hear rents have gone down. Okay, so in these ones, rents have gone up 29%. And in these ones, it's gone down 3%.
Yeah. Yeah. There are going to be some Zoom towns. Reno is one of those that got over its skis and come back again. But when you look out long term, rents go one direction. And the beauty of being a residential landlord, 30-year fixed rate debt, right? When we look at the housing market around the world, it is going to become crystal clear that 30-year fixed rate debt is a competitive advantage. Australia, Canada, the UK, 2 to 5 year. And now and again, for 40 years, it made perfect sense why you had to reset every 2 to 5 years, because rates went down for 40 years. They're not going down now. So anybody who got a 30-year mortgage rate below 4%, you won. We hopefully don't see that again, because that would be something bad broke. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Here's part of the problem with that remortgaging every 2 to 5 years that we're seeing in other countries outside the US. You are absolutely right. For the last 40 years, seemed great. You kept resetting to a better rate. So people pulled out equity.
Yeah.
Your rent went down. You could keep your payment the same and take out 20,000 pounds, euro. What does Canada use? Loonies, right?
No,
I don't know. I've been there once.
Sounds good.
So now you've taken out, people call this equity. I call it creating debt on an existing asset.
Yeah.
And now rates are going to be going back up. They are going back up.
They are. Big
And that
time.
payment ain't staying the same anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful how you use that. Again, one of the big things we saw in the last Great Recession was people were literally using their homes in the States as ATMs. It was like a competitive sport. So thankfully, not a lot of that happened this time. It certainly did, but nothing on the scale of last time. 98% of the loans heading into 2022 were 30-year fixed rate, which is awesome. It gives us a huge rock solid foundation. This year, I think the number is 12% ARM, so 88% fixed. But again, these 12-year ARMs average 5 years. So again, if there is a problem brewing, it's years away. Because again, it's the forced resets that become the problem. So again, I think 2023 is going to be what you make of it. If you head into it afraid, fearful, and hiding, you're going to get what you get. But if you go into it eyes wide open, right, protect yourself, but do the work, it could be an amazing year. I think 2023 is going to be an amazing year for one rental at a time. We're just going to keep showing what we do, documenting the whole way. And I look forward to that.
And you can find me, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, in Fresno, California in 13 days.
Yeah, November 12th, baby. It's going to be awesome. Dion, where can people find you on YouTube?
Dion Talk Financial Freedom. I do my live streams Tuesday afternoons, 4 p.m. Pacific, that usually go a few hours. And if you don't like long content, I do 3 or 4 videos a week that are 10 to 20 minutes.
Thanks, brother.